Hey, all you mules and jennies out there. This is Trae Venerable. I graduated University of Central Missouri in December of 2017. My major was safety management and my minor was fire science. Now, while I was doing all that hard studying, I also was doing some other projects. I wrote my first book series at University of Central Missouri in the library. Yes, y'all, I'm a traditionally published children's author. The book series is called Grandpa, I Just Want to Be a Cowboy. It's stemming and researching and talking about black cowboys from the West. Every generation of my family has owned a ranch or a farm. I'm of African American and Native American descent. While I was at while I was at UCM, I had a really great mentor on this project. Her name is Dr. Gillis of Africana Studies of UCM. She was a big impact and major facilitator on a lot of things for me with this series. So I greatly appreciate her on that. And so the series is the first part is Notables from the West. The second part is Rodeo Cowboys, and then the third part is Women in the West. Women in the West came out this year, and we have had a lot of good success with it. Last year was a breakout year. I went to about 50 schools on my tour. Spoke to tens of thousands of kids, really helping them see their dreams as I discovered my own dreams. And so we're going to look at and read a little bit out of Notables from the West. But before we get to that, I'll read a little bit about myself as the author. Trae Q L Venerable, born to Myron and Tracy Venerable, with a lifelong history in ranching and farming, is excited to bring you Grandpa, I Just Want to Be a Cowboy, books of the Forgotten Cowboys history. Trae, an avid outdoorsman, horseman, and cattle jock, comes from generations of farm and ranch owners from which many of these stories have been passed on. For way too long, the forgotten cowboy has not been heard, and the time is now. So now getting into a little bit of the first book, Notables from the West, let's jump into it. It was Saturday morning. Bo was happy to go to his grandparents' home for the weekend. Bo knew what time it was when he arrived at Grandpa Leroy and Julianne's home. He was ready to watch the new Western cartoons with his Grandpa Leroy. Bo knew today was going to be something special on this morning. They were adding a new cowboy to the series and he couldn't wait. He yelled out at the top of his lungs to his grandpa, I want to be a cowboy, I want to be a cowboy, I just want to be a cowboy. While watching his cartoons, Bo's grandpa brought out an old book to inform Bo on some pretty neat people who helped shape the West. Bo was confused. He had never seen this book before and asked his grandpa, what is that book about, Grandpa? Grandpa Leroy replied, son, you want to be a cowboy? Well, let's learn about the ones who came before you and paved the way. Bo could hardly wait for what was next, so his grandpa turned off the television and they went down old memory lane. Grandpa asked Bo if he had ever heard of black cowboys. Bo replied, of course not, Grandpa Leroy. Cowboys are only white on TV and there is no such thing as a black cowboy. Grandpa Leroy replied, history wants you to think that, Bo. However, back in the old days, 1 in every 3 cowboys were of African American descent. Grandpa said, television only shows cowboys like the Lone Ranger, but not the other kinds. Grandpa followed that by saying, Bo, they look just like you. Bo didn't know how to take this new information. He was so overwhelmed with joy. Bo begged his grandpa to tell him more, and that's where the fun really begins. Grandpa calmed Bo down from his excitement and opened the old book to the first notable, Nate Love. Bo urged his Grandpa Leroy to tell him more. Grandpa told Bo Nate was an all-around cowboy in the panhandle of Texas. He was skilled in the cowboy task of roping, breaking wild horses, and working cattle drives to major cow towns such as Dodge City, Kansas. Bo was thrilled about this and begged for more. Grandpa flipped to a new part and Bill Pickett came up, another notable cowboy. Bo said, why, Grandpa? Grandpa replied, Bill Pickett was a great cowboy. He was a great cowboy. He was with the 101 Ranch and Wild West show and also invented the technique rodeo contestants do called bulldogging. After Grandpa explained what bulldogging was, Bo started to practice on Smokey the family dog. After Bo was finished bulldogging Smokey the family dog, he was ever so tired. Grandpa decided to give Bo a few more notable cowboys out of the old book. He went with John Ware next, who was best remembered for his horsemanship and for bringing the first cattle to southern Alberta, Canada, in 1882. After Grandpa explained this, Bo was truly getting tired but had enough energy to hear about two more cowboys. Grandpa was thinking and flipped the pages again, and Bass Reeves came up. Grandpa went on to say he was the first black deputy west of the Mississippi River and arrested over 3,000 felons. He also shot and killed 14 outlaws in self-defense. Bo, he was the real-life Lone Ranger. What the Lone Ranger did on TV, Bass Reeves did it in real life. Bo was just beside himself now and was acting like Bass Reeves in the living room, kicking butt and taking names. Since Bo was even more beat after this, Grandpa gave him one last cowboy, and this was a guy by the name of Esmos Dart. Grandpa told Bo Ned Heselton was his real name. He earned a reputation as a rider, roper, and bronco buster. Ned earned the nicknames the Black Fox and the Calico Cowboy. Later in his life, he joined the infamous Tip Gulp Gang. The Tip Gulp Gang was a cattle and horse rustling outfit of southeastern Wyoming. Bo was on the floor now, looking up at the ceiling and imagining all those notable black cowboys, and told his grandpa, "Tell me more after my nap." Grandpa agreed. He had the old book in one arm and his new defined black cowboy Bo in the other. He put him to bed and told Bo, "Until the next time, partner." Until the next time, partner is where I'll leave you with book one. But to leave you guys with my last comment, UCM was probably one of the best experiences of my life. As an alumni of UCM, I'm grateful for everything. Snouts out. God bless cowpokes.